And now, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rimes.
All right, welcome to the show. We've got a great lineup for you today. As always, Jennie Restrepo joining us with some probate stories from hell. We'll find out, what happens when someone in your family passes away, and you're going to get bombarded with phone calls, text messages, and all kinds of advertisements and schemes. So we'll warn you about that. Also, 5 first-time buyer mistakes to avoid. We'll hit on that, as well as your free property fraud alert, something that's available for everyone right now that you should sign up for. It's definitely a takeaway from today's show. Also, a Hillsborough County business owner used a mail fraud scheme to buy a $1.6 million house right here in Tampa Bay. Hillsborough County business owner busted for a fraudulent scheme. So we'll touch base on that. Also, in the second half, we've got Aaron Williamson. He's our tech expert, and we're going to talk about the AI battle, what's going on with AI, both from state's perspective, country perspective, and who knows, robot armies. I guess we already have robot armies out there, Jenny. I don't know if you've seen them, but you've got also some stories there as well. A couple of hot listings, and we'll jump right into it. Platinum MVP team. Keller Williams Realty, always featuring our real estate properties live on air and maximizing the exposure and the profit on the sale of our real estate listings. By the way, we have a 98% list price to sell price ratio. That's one of the highest in the state, in the area as well, compared to a 92% of the average MLS agent in Tampa Bay. 4925 North, US Highway 441 in Ocala. This is a unique property. You've got a little blend here of residential property, commercial property, 8 acres of land, high and dry in Ocala, Florida. That's horse country up there. Beautiful property. 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bath, 2236 square feet. Again, 8 acres. Now you got 5.3 acres. The property's entirely fenced, but you've got 5.3 acres that are zone B4 commercial with frontage on Highway 441, offering endless business opportunities, including retail, distribution, light manufacturing, storage, automotive services, and more. A great opportunity to buy real estate in our northern audience here of Ocala, Florida. Beautiful listing up there in Ocala. 7154 Shoreline Boulevard in Weeki Wachee, Florida. We've got a waterfront property that is a business, 3/4 of an acre, well-established waterfront business, 3 lots on the Weeki Wachee River. It's also a business there where you have 6 income streams coming in. Multi-use property. Income from John boat, kayak, paddleboard rentals, dock space, commercial vessels, private vessels. You have a commercial ice machine. You've got a rental unit there, and also a Suzuki servicer with an established motor repair business. Great opportunity. The Weeki Wachee Marina for sale, 7154 Shoreline Boulevard in beautiful Weeki Wachee, home of the mermaids. You ever seen any mermaids up there, Jenny?
Yes, if you have not been to the mermaid show, you got to go to it. Where else can you say, what's my job? I'm a mermaid.
I'm a mermaid. Little Brady likes Ariel. Does your daughter, does she watch that? Does she go through the Ariel Under the Sea?
Yes. What child does not love the Little Mermaid?
Yeah. We stumbled on the Tom Hanks one, too, with Splash. Remember that? We were watching that the other day.
Yeah.
We're going through the old movies, like Over the Top, the arm wrestling one, and looking at
100%
Rocky IV.
love that. Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah.
Never Ending Story.
That was a good one. That opens up the imagination a little bit.
It really does.
Yeah, that's good stuff. So we'll get into some real estate talk here. Check us out online, platinummvpteam.kw.com, and you can see all of our radio and TV show experts at consumerqb.com. All right, Jennie Restrepo back in studio with us, representing Insured Title Agency online at insured-title.com. Let's jump into the probate stories, Jenny. What are you seeing?
Okay, here we go. If you don't know what probate refers to, first of all, probate is the court process that happens when someone passes away. And when someone passes away who is also a property owner, oftentimes the court is going to have to administer what we call probate. Now, the only exception to that rule automatically is legal spouses. So if you are legally married and one of the spouses in the marriage passes away, all of the rights of the property that you own jointly go to the remaining spouse. That is automatic. You didn't have to do anything special when you purchase the house or how you hold title. Any other relationship, even a familial relationship, so mother, son, father, daughter, sisters, cousins, does not matter. You are treated as individual people. And if one person passes away and someone else remains, if you simply hold title in just your names, it will have to go through probate because maybe one of those people has an heir, etc. That's a very long story,
Yep.
which maybe we can break this into a series. But the message that I wanted to deliver today is about consumer awareness and consumer protection. So first of all, if you've lost someone that's close to you, we are very sorry for your loss. You're grieving. You're dealing with a lot of things, not just the emotional burden of losing someone close to you, but the logistics of closing down their life. And if that person was a property owner, dealing with their property is going to fall to someone in the family. So if that person was unmarried at the time of passing, then we now have to figure out who's the person. And if there are children, but those children are minors, minors cannot inherit directly. Minors cannot make legal decisions. And so then you have to get into a situation with a guardianship, and that does not necessarily fall to the biological parent unless you make it official through the court. So there's a lot of different steps in place. So as a consumer, what can you do? Well, first of all, take title in a way that protects yourself. So when it comes to how you hold title, what is on the deed, there are ways to issue a title so that that property would avoid probate should someone pass away. Especially if you are the only person on title, there is a way to designate who you would like to receive the ownership rights of your home upon your passing, and that's called a life estate. So if you hold your property in a life estate, you can designate what we call remaindermen, and those are the people who would then gain the interest in your home should you pass away. So for your whole lifetime, it's your house. You can sell it, you can refinance it, you can do whatever you want with it. But upon your passing, you've designated these are the people, and it does not have to go through probate. So if your remaining heirs came to insured title agency and said, my mom passed away, but we were on the life estate, what else do you need from us? All we need is we'll pull your deed, we'll get a copy of the death certificate, and as long as everybody's names match up, good to go. Does not have to go through court. So it really expedites the process. We're able to work directly with you. You're able to work with someone on the Platinum MVP team. You can list the property. You can sell the property. You can sign all the contracts. You do not have to go through the court and get a court order. So that's one way, especially if you have someone older in the family, maybe one of your parents has passed and one of them remains and they own property. This is definitely something that you need to look into right away. And certainly, first thing you can do, call the show.
Yeah.
And talk to a show partner. There are attorneys that are show partners, so maybe you need a probate attorney, an estate planning attorney. Definitely get this squared away before someone passes.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
Make
sure you do it.
If you haven't done that and someone does pass away, then be prepared. So step 2, someone close to you does pass away and you end up being the person who's now dealing with all of these logistics. You are going to start receiving a lot of mail and some phone calls and maybe some faxes or carrier pigeons or knocks on your door. These scavengers are relentless because they want your property. Your property is probably worth something. What it's worth, we're not sure, but they don't care. They comb the lists of obituaries. They look at probate filings. They sign up for lists. They get your information. They get information on the heirs. They start calling and they are texting you, calling you, sending you letters. And sometimes these communications are very direct and sometimes they are a little bit veiled. And we have had people who, in their moment of grief, while they're dealing with all of this, have clicked on something, electronically signed something. They didn't realize what they were doing. And unbeknownst to them, what they really did was sign a listing agreement or a sale agreement with someone that they didn't fully understand that they did. And once you've signed a contract, If you decide that you do not want to move forward with that contract, you may then have to engage with an attorney, because even though you're grieving and maybe you didn't understand what you were signing, they will hold you to what you've signed, and they don't care. They don't have any sense of decency towards the nature of the situation.
Yeah, and they can sue for specific performance in most cases. If you do not perform to the contract, then, because I get that question sometimes. I'm sure you guys see it on a daily basis or weekly. Is that, hey, I got to the closing table after all these inspections were done, but I changed my mind, or whatever reason happened. They can sue you for specific performance, meaning you must perform under the contents of this agreement that you signed, electronically or otherwise.
Yes.
You signed it. So that's
you signed it.
Yeah, you see that happen, I'm sure.
We see this all the time. We've had people that we get to putting together their closing statement, and they didn't realize that they signed something with a different agency. They agreed that if they canceled a contract, took another one, that they would still owe the exiting real estate agent money. I realize it's 12 whole pages, but if you sign a contract, a real estate contract, please read it. Yeah. And if you don't know what it says, because it is in legal verbiage, ask your agent or ask an attorney. Don't just ask, your bestie, who may or may not know how to read legal verbiage. But truly make sure that you understand what you're agreeing to, because as Brandon is saying, you will be held accountable to the terms that you agreed to, whether you read them or not. That is not part of the situation. Yeah,
and we see it, something we see a lot too with these expired and canceled listings. Whenever, if you don't understand what that means, essentially, most agents sign up for a 6-month contract, and then they try to sell the property, single family, residential, vacant land, commercial property. They try to sell, and then after 6 months or even 3 months, it ends up as a expired listing or a canceled listing. That triggers a lead for real estate agents, investors, wholesalers, flippers, scammers, all these different types of people. So what they'll do, though, is what I'm talking about is these as-is contracts with an assignable clause. They'll check the box that says assignable, and essentially what happens is they're telling you everything you want to hear up front. And then they're going to get inspections. They're going to change that price. Oh, we found this, this, and this. We have to reduce the price, otherwise we can't close. Meanwhile, that particular seller is thinking, oh, we got a closing date. They may have hired movers. They may have put money down on another property. And then essentially what happens, Jenny? They flip that contract or try to flip that contract for a difference of, X versus X plus 10 or 15, 20 grand. And then essentially they don't close, and they have their out through the inspection clause. And that has to happen with that inspection period. But they'll have these, elaborate contracts with an extra page on the back that says, "Oh, we can put your property on the MLS as well." So really, you're not supposed to do that. You don't have to be the owner of the property in order to put it on the MLS. And the reason they do that is so they can find that end buyer that ultimately will fund the contract, that will fund the deal. They'll get paid, and the original seller will get paid as well.
As far as I am aware, in order to publish a listing on the MLS, you must be a member of the MLS, because the multiple listing service requires a membership. So Brandon's team, every member is a member of our local MLS. And that ethically requires you to have a listing agreement, a signed listing agreement. Yep. Just because a party has a property under contract that is assignable to a different buyer does not give them any authority on the property to sign a listing agreement.
Yeah.
So if that is happening, again, this is my understanding, I'm not an attorney, but if that is happening, there is a bit of a gray area in who gets to do what. Because, for example, just because even in a traditional transaction, if I am buying your house and we are under contract, I cannot go and paint the outside of the house. I am not putting the utilities in my name. I do not have any authority over your property until we are closed and funded.
Yep.
And now the property belongs to me, and that transfer deed is recorded. Short of that, you can be wanting to buy my house. You can be under contract to buy my house, but it is not your house until it's your house. So therefore, you have no authority to agree to terms. You can't sign a deal to have a pool installed in the back of a house that doesn't belong to you until it belongs to you.
That's right. And we're talking with Jennie Restrepo here, Insured Title Agency. I'm your host, Brandon BRimes, and I wanted to get this out there as well. This is out of Florida Realtor Magazine. It says, share this, 5 first-time buyer mistakes to avoid. So buying your first home, don't let these costly mistakes cost you thousands and catch you off guard. Number one, skipping pre-approval. Know your budget before you shop. That's, of course, important. Finding out, making sure the mortgage loan officer is underwriting it properly. There's a difference between a pre-approval and a pre-qualification. Number two, forgetting extra costs. Plan for closing costs, moving, and monthly expenses. Tip, save an extra $5 to $10K. Number three, skipping inspections. Never skip inspections. Get your inspections done. Get your termite inspections done. Hidden issues equal costly surprises. Number four, ignoring location. Check commute, neighborhoods, and noise. What's the future loose? Are you going to have a data center built across the street? I mean, who knows what's going to happen, right? Number five, big purchases before closing. Don't go out and buy a car 2 days before closing.
Do not buy the furniture for your new house and finance it until it's your house. Do not quit your job.
Big purchases before closing. New debt can delay your loan. So there's
Florida
5 quick
Realtors,
tips.
We concur.
We can make that 10. We could keep going to spitballing. So you said no furniture.
Do not finance the furniture for the new house. Do not quit your job.
Yeah.
And when I went to buy my first house, our realtor said, go on Friday night and Saturday morning.
There you go.
Because you're going to get vibes. If you do you do a showing, you see the property, you like it, it's Wednesday afternoon. Cool.
Yeah.
This is a neighborhood where you're going to be living, so what are the vibes? And do they check out for the kind of vibe that you're going to? So
talk to the neighbors.
Talk to the neighbors, or ride by the neighborhood on a Friday night. Ride by the neighborhood on Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
See what's going on in the neighborhood. Are the neighbors out? Are they friendly? Or is everyone inside and that's what you want it to be? You know, everybody's looking for something different.
Do
but
a predator search.
If you're
That'd be another one.
Yes.
Go online and make sure there's not any predators around. You know,
I live very close to a school.
That's
so
available
this. If you have a school down the street, you're in a safe zone. But certainly you can check that information. That is public information.
Yeah.
And when you're buying the first house, this is why I think a lot of buyers think I'm going to go to Zillow. I'm going to click on something. It's going to connect me to an agent. They were nice to me. Now I need to go with this person. And that may work out great. But also, please understand, you can interview this agent who's going to represent you in spending hundreds of thousands of dollars and helping you to navigate a very intricate process that involves that 12-pager contract and a bunch of words on there that you may or may not understand. And so feel free to interview a buyer's representative agent. Ask them some questions, and Brandon can even throw it out there. You know, these are the questions that your agent should be able to answer. And if they don't want to answer the questions, move on to someone else.
Yeah, you know, a big one too nowadays is what's the difference between an as-is contract and the standard FAR contract, right?
Yes.
There's repairs in there. There's a lot in there. That, you know, we'll come back. Maybe on the other side we'll come through with those questions. What are some good questions to ask an agent before you hire that realtor? And by the way, Zillow's actually in a lawsuit now based on some of these things dealing with, you know, I thought that was the listing agent, and I thought I had to go with that mortgage provider, steering mortgage leads and things of that nature. Allegedly, those are the things that are happening with Zillow. So quick break, right back. More with Jennie Restrepo here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Also, you don't want to miss, we're going to give you a really cool tip about a free property fraud alert that will protect your title. No cost for this. And a quick break, right back here. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. Please make sure to send him all of your real estate deals and subscribe to the Consumer Quarterback Show podcast on iTunes and Spotify, or check out our YouTube channel. Have a blessed day.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, Brandon BRimes here for my friend Captain Jimmy Hartley, owner of Salty Water Fishing Charters. You can find him online, saltywaterfishingcharters.com. He took me and my son out, and we caught some snooks, some redfish, some trout, had a great time on the Tampa Bay waters. Reach out to the show, and we'll put you in touch with Captain Jimmy Hartley, saltywaterfishingcharters.com, 813-917-1894, 813-917-1894. I want to tell you about our employee benefits program. This is a really cool package that we offer for employers out there. Education, guidance, incentives. So a real estate benefit that you can add for no cost. Partner with companies of all sizes to provide valuable real estate education, exclusive employee incentives, and trusted guidance through every step of the buying, selling, or investing process. At no cost, we're going to empower your employees, strengthen your company, and build brighter futures for them. Educational seminars, first-time buyer support, employee incentives, luxury, upsize expertise, new construction, building, as well as investment opportunities. Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. You can reach us at 813-917-1894. Check us out online at consumerqb.com. Did you know that we buy houses cash? We can close quickly for a all-cash offer on your real estate properties, residential, commercial, even vacant land. We'll buy your property cash. No cleaning, no showings, and no hassles. You can even possibly stay in your home post-closing. Call Brandon at 813-917-1894. Submit the email at consumerqb.com or call 813-917-1894. consumerqb.com. We buy houses cash and fast. Attention business owners, did you know we have 100% financing options available? Our no money down program offers 100% financing for business owners. If you are currently leasing your commercial space, you can purchase real estate for no money down. Additionally, the program offers money for working capital, equipment, and business fixtures. You can even pay off current business debt. Reach out at 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. BRimes at kw.com. And that is our 100% financing, no money down program for business owners. We would love to help you buying, selling, or investing in real estate. 813-917-1894. BRimes at kw.com.
Dennis Prager here for Brandon and Lindsay Rimes, owners of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams. Buying, selling, investing in real estate, their nationwide Keller Williams network makes them the best team to work with. Sellers, have your property featured live on air, creating multiple offers. Buyers, leverage a unique system that gets your offer accepted, never overlooked. Call or text 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550, or consumerqb.com.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
All right, 100 East Shell Point Road. This is a beautiful commercial property right here in Hillsborough County in Ruskin, Florida. A very unique property. This is 6,700 plus square feet, half-acre lot, plenty of parking, 2-story commercial property from the Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty. 100 East Shell Point Road in Ruskin. Great opportunity for a business owner, entrepreneur right here in Tampa Bay. You can see all of our listings online at platinummvpteam.kw.com and check out our Consumer Quarterback Show at consumerqb.com. All right, Jenny, so we kind of left them with two. We wanted to do the property fraud alert and then also what are the questions to ask buyer agent. Go ahead.
Okay, this is our hot take last minute of the show. First of all, property fraud alert. If you already own property, either your personal residence or, as Brandon just mentioned, you're buying commercial, either way, you can register for property fraud alert. This is a free service. It is offered by your county. Every county in the state of Florida participates. We don't get a kickback for this. You don't have to pay a monthly service fee. You get yourself registered. Then you would get a text message if anything is recorded against your deed, which is step 1 in protecting your property from title fraudsters. So please Google property fraud alert respective county and you will be all set. Get yourself registered for free today.
All right. How many deals have you done? How long have you been in the business? What designations do you have? And how do we access down payment assistance programs? Those are some good questions.
Those are definitely some good questions for buyers, agents. And also, like I said earlier about the neighborhood, vibe check. is this person the person that I want to basically be dating for the next 60 days? Do we get along? Do I like their communication style? And is it going to work?
There you go. I like it. Good stuff. Jennie Restrepo, check her out online, insured-title.com. Also on Instagram. Coming up, Aaron Williamson, Anthropic urges industry coordination to allow for a pause in AI development if risks grow. Quick break, right back.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, Aaron Williamson joins us in studio, Cornerstone Project Management. He's our tech expert here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, longtime friend of the show. CornerstonePMP.com is his site. Anthropic in the news for their artificial intelligence, saying, hey, maybe we should slow down on the development. We'll discuss that. Also, Hillsborough County business owner used a mail fraud scheme to buy a $1.6 million house, says indictments. I wonder if you've got some ideas from the Somali fraudsters and got a nice automobile to go in that 4-car garage as well. Also, SBA suspends more than 27,000 Ohio loan borrowers' loans due to suspected fraud relating to the PPP and some of the other programs around the COVID era. So we'll get into that and more here coming up with Aaron on the Consumer Quarterback Show. A couple of hot listings, then we'll jump right into it. We always like to feature our real estate properties on air. We got a property at 103 Brigadoon Drive in Clearwater. This one's listed as a rental and for sale. Kind of whichever happens first here. The owner's motivated. You've got a 1536 square feet, 3-story residence that's been updated. No rear neighbors. You got a low HOA fee as well. Sparkling community pool, pet-friendly community, and new laminate flooring, modern light fixtures, water softener. Clearwater Beach, just 8 miles away. 103 Brigadoon Drive, Clearwater, Florida. Another great listing from the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, #1 real estate company on the planet. 6085 Bahia Del Mar Boulevard South. This one is a beautiful listing, very picturesque. Could be in a magazine here. This is unit number 106. It's a 2-2, 1145 square feet, quarter-acre lot. You got effortless living in a highly sought-after waterfront and golf community of Isla del Sol. It's a ground floor corner condo, fully furnished, turnkey residence that could also be utilized as a rental. And we've got the rent rolls that can prove to you the income. I think it was, the numbers were about $28,000, $30,000 a year, I believe, in income coming in. Community pool. You've got a nice clubhouse, water views there, and just over the bridge there is the beautiful Pinellas County beaches, dolphin-filled waters and sugar sand beaches of Pinellas County. You can see all of our listings online at platinummvpteam.kw.com. You can see all of our radio and TV show experts at consumerqb.com. Link over to our YouTube channel there. Check out our socials at Brandon Rhymes 1 at CQB Show and consumerqb.com. Thanks for supporting the show. All right, Aaron Williamson back in studio with us, Cornerstone Project Management. What's new, man?
Everything. The world's changing every day, Brandon. I mean, tech topics, AI, you name it. We got controversy. We got SpaceX going public this week.
Yeah.
With their IPO, people trying to get in on that.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. So I'm interested to see what happens. It'll be Thursday or Friday probably, and the NASDAQ just dumped a little bit today.
Yeah.
Which is sparking some fears. But the question is it overvalued or undervalued?
SpaceX.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see. Did he tie his income to if he can get somebody on Mars or something like that?
He needs, his income, his
Elon,
he has a tranche. Yeah, Elon's pay package is tied to a 1 million-person city on Mars.
Wow.
And none of the other bonuses hit, the big ones hit until, like the scalable computing power in space tranches that he have hit until he has that 1 million people on Mars.
Unbelievable.
So,
what a big thinker. I mean, that's something there, man. I'll tell you what. Unbelievable. I wanted to go to our lead story here. We talked about here, Anthropic is proposing that the world's top artificial intelligence companies come up with a coordinated way to pause development of advanced AI systems, warning the technology is improving so quickly there's human risk would lose control. The company behind Claude chatbot said in a blog post that a cutting-edge AI gets increasingly faster at carrying out tasks. It would be good for the world to have the option to slow or temporarily pause its development. What say you, Aaron?
Yeah, I mean, listen, the message has to be parsed because this is one of the largest AI companies in the world, $1 trillion valuation, Anthropic is.
Wow.
They're the company behind Claude, and they're asking the world to slow down frontier AI development. Now, this isn't unheard of. Back in 23, Elon Musk signed a letter called the Future of Life Institute letter, and he also urged the same thing a few years ago.
Yeah.
He has not spoken out about this particular warning, but Anthropic's CEO basically said, listen, this is going to get recursively more improved at an exponential rate so that it will self-improve, start improving itself, which means it's kind of out of the human hands at that point. And he's scared of that. And it is maybe something we should think about. I mean, is society ready? Our legislation, is it ready? Do we have rules, guidelines, regulations? And the answer is no. I mean, frankly, we probably aren't ready if that happens. But then the big question is, why are they telling us this? Why is the number, arguably one of the top two AI companies, telling everybody else in the world to slow down?
Yeah.
Is this some sort of regulatory capture agenda is what people are saying? Or do they just want to get further ahead? And I think you can read into it how you want.
Well, let me ask you this, because there's also a debate between states' rights versus the federal government saying, hey, we need one blanket policy to kind of monitor and have the safeguards and have the rules. What's your thoughts around states' rights versus the big government saying, hey, we need to be able to have interstate commerce here?
Great question. It always, this happens on any new technology. The internet created these same questions 30 years ago, more than that maybe. But self-driving cars also, right? We can think of a lot of ones where the states said, no, we need to maintain autonomy in these decisions. I don't know that I have the best answer other than there needs to be some federal regulations, and I do not necessarily stand in the way of any state creating it. Yeah, that is their right, but for interstate commerce reasons, you need a federal regulator to step in and make AI decisions.
Well, let me ask you this, Aaron. You had DeSantis came out with the AI Bill of Rights for Florida, and I think he was saying that could be a model for the nation, right?
It could be, and what's interesting about that is he was basically saying, we're going to step up and be one of the first states to say something. And this is what federal regulators, historically have waited on, is to see where the states fall on this before making any large sweeping federal regulations. Yeah. And I think DeSantis, I applaud his effort in doing that because somebody needed to say, hey, we're going to wrangle this bull by the horns if nobody else is. I think his idea also was he didn't want to sacrifice Florida to the data centers, to the environmental, kind of problems that those entail, but also he wanted to say, financially and from the massive amounts of scam and fraud that AI perpetuates, we don't want to be the hotbed of that activity either. Yeah. And there's a story I read not long ago where there's a bunch of H-1Bs running credit card scams out of Florida.
Yep.
And so we need to, and they were using AI to do it.
And by the way, a judge turned down ruled that Trump's $100,000 barrier to entry was not allowed. The fee for the H-1B visa.
I saw that. I did not see the thought process. It seemed like a good idea when I heard it, but I didn't hear about why that was.
Who knows? I mean, these guys, they're slapping down a lot of the tariffs, et cetera.
Yeah, right.
They're trying, it's like going in there and fighting, with one hand behind your back. You got China over here breaking all the rules, being a most favored nation under the Clinton administration, breaking all the Trans-Pacific partnerships and the emissions law rules, and they're just basically building coal, every week. But here they are, saying our own Supreme Court and these judges putting us in a box, man. You know, they're making it harder to fight.
Restrictive legislation
Yes.
always has, I think at least I'm going to look at it a little more critically. And for those reasons that you just mentioned, right? I mean, you can speculate about the negative impacts of anything if you'd like. We haven't seen them.
Yeah.
So I'd like to know the basis of the legislation if we really don't know what problems it's going to create, especially because it's going to handicap us, if it handicaps us.
Exactly.
Right? In terms of compared to, say, China.
Yeah.
Who has none of these regulations and will be ahead of us if we decide. Now, the flip side of this coin is Anthropic being genuine. Probably, they are known to be sort of a woke company and probably more careful than a cavalier than some other AI companies out there. But because their point is this: training runs on AI, which is going to improve AI quickly, are far easier to conceal than missile silos.
Okay.
Right? So what they're saying is, while we may say he's saying this is like a nuclear treaty. This AI needs to be treated from foreign governments like a nuclear treaty. In that, we used to say, okay, we all need to pause nuclear, and everybody said, okay, well, maybe they did or didn't, but we could see if they were, because we could see their missile silos.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the AI is different. They can say they're complying all they want,
Exactly.
and not.
Yeah. So it's
And
dangerous. How do you regulate
It's
something?
extremely dangerous, and if my opinion is that the administration will ignore these.
And they start hacking our systems and infrastructure. Aaron Williamson here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, Cornerstone Project Management. Aaron, how can you help our audience? There's small business owners out here. We see them at our meetup groups when we have our parties or our investor seminars. We've got small business owners, solopreneurs, corporate managers, people out there running businesses. How can you help them?
I like that solopreneur
Yeah.
word. I've not heard that one. That describes a lot of people I know. So Cornerstone Project Management, cornerstonepmp.com. We are a local Tampa Bay-based IT project management consultancy, but we work statewide, national, and even overseas, working with a couple of military bases overseas now. So call us international. But the heart of us belongs here in Tampa. So we help business owners become more profitable, use technology, gain efficiency, stop spending large chunks of money on technology. We are to the point where it's a commodity, and we can get you there safely. I mean, that's, we talked about scams earlier. That's a lot of the phone calls it began with a scam.
Yeah. Exactly. I saw one recently. The video was something like, how do I know you're not AI? You heard the guy, you could tell as an older gentleman, he says, hold 3 fingers up in front of your face. And he says, oh, well, that's not fair.
And he wouldn't do it.
And he kept doing it down here around his
That's
shoulders.
right.
Why is that? Because that's actually somebody else's face on the body.
Today, yes. It was a complete manufactured 3D AI image, and the technology isn't so good to render between out of focus.
Right.
2 different images out of focus. And so it will mess it up. That was yesterday.
That was a good question, though. Right?
It was, and it worked. But try that tomorrow.
Try
and
it
that
tomorrow.
may not work.
Yeah, it'll
And
change.
So, Mark Cuban has said this, and much as I disagree with the man, I think he's taking the Fetterman rehab treatment. He came out and said he believes AI is going to drive everybody to start shaking hands and meeting in person again.
Yeah.
And I think he's probably right. I want to know you're not synthetic.
Yeah, that's true.
You're real.
I even get it too when I'm making my sales calls. It's like, how do I know you're not AI? I said, well, okay. Well, I just start answering weird questions. Well, I don't know. 8 + 8 is 16, or I come up with, and then but yeah, I get it. People want to know, hey, what's going on? I want to get to this story too, man. This was big because a lot of people are saying, hey, look, we're hearing all this fraud. Where are the arrests? But so the SBA has suspended 27,486 borrowers in Ohio linked to approximately $1.1 billion in COVID-19 financial assistance fraud. And this is a recent story out of the Epic Times. Defrauded the PPP program and the Economic Injury Disaster Initiatives, all again mostly from shutting down our own economy, the ridiculousness that happened back in the COVID times and the China virus. So essentially, it goes on to talk about how the DOJ also brought charges against 9 individuals alleged to have stolen more than $42 million in fraud in Ohio. Of the 9 suspects, 4 were charged with conspiracy to defraud more than $1.4 million in COVID-19. They also go on to talk about how this is also happening in other states. The SBA suspended 6,900 Minnesota borrowers suspected of fraudulently obtaining $400 million in PPP and EIDL loans. So, yeah, it's pretty crazy, man. The fraud's happening. We're catching them. So I have a lot of faith, though, in Vice President as the fraud czar.
You want to hear something absolutely ludicrous? We applied for a PPP loan back in COVID-19, our company, and were denied.
Oh, gosh.
So I read these scams of everybody getting millions and millions of dollars, and we couldn't get $50K to pay salaries.
Yeah. It's unbelievable, right? I mean, it makes you think a layer deeper. Like, what do they? Am I on some kind of a list? Do they know that?
Right. Well, why did I get? How did they know to deny me and not Omar?
Yeah. And who was on the inside of checking the boxes or approving? Right. It probably come down to that, right? Who's the inside executive 100%. Or the account specialist that's stamping the approvals?
Somebody ran. Oh yeah, somebody was running filters, and they were looking at ethnicities, and they were looking at things like that to grant or not grant. I mean, you were either aligned politically correctly or not. Yeah.
Here's another fraud story right out of Hillsborough County. Business owner used mail fraud scheme to buy $1.6 million house. Indictment says federal man, a Hillsborough County man, that is, here in Tampa Bay. Authorities are looking into prior bankruptcy cases and a state investigation into Brandon Dutch Mendenhall's real estate business. If convicted, Mendenhall faces a maximum penalty of 20 years in prison. So yeah, I say let's throw them away, put them in, lock them away, and throw away the keys on some of these guys. I'm so sick of seeing these people. Then just a couple years later, they plea bargain out. They're back doing.
And we wonder why it keeps happening.
Yeah,
because the penalty isn't high enough.
Yep, that's right.
I mean, this guy's facing 20 years. Is he going to get it? No, but he needs something.
He'll get
because the next guy, his brother or somebody or his neighbor, is going to do the same thing.
Yeah,
this is waste, fraud, and abuse. If you want inflation to come down, you fight these things.
That's right, exactly. There's so many ways that we're coming in on the back end of the Biden administration, and you see what's happening. All this fraud. Look at California, still in another election. Spencer Pratt edged out of the second spot.
Did you hear that you can't even show your ID now in California to vote? You can use gym memberships. You can use prescription labels to vote. Library card. Yeah,
you can't show
they
an
will
ID.
Reject it.
And if you ask for an ID, you get arrested.
Correct.
And they also just passed the Nick Shirley, stop the Nick Shirley.
Yeah, and you're not allowed to report on it either.
Yeah, you can't report on it. It's crazy. And then they wonder why let's show that map real quick, Dave. They wonder why the net migration out of their states. Massachusetts #1.
Oh my God.
New York up there, California up there. You've got Kansas, shockingly, at 19.6%. Illinois. So, yeah, you wonder why. Oregon, the entire West Coast.
Look, everybody's going to Montana,
leaving.
Idaho, and Wyoming.
Yeah, Idaho. South Carolina over here, too, on the East Coast. South Carolina got a lot. Texas, of course, Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Arkansas. But they wonder why they're losing population. They're taxing their people. The crime, the judges that need to be thrown in jail themselves.
We tell our kids,
there's a
just
good old
say
Charlie.
No, and then some panty-waist judge lets a drug dealer go.
All right, we got to leave it at there. We'll come back at a quick break here. More with Aaron Williamson coming up. Cornerstone Project Management. More about the AI battle and these robot armies. What are we going to see in the future? Are they really developing these manufacturing facilities, pumping out? I mean, it's like that iRobot movie. Quick break, right back. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rimes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right to the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Long lines at the airport? Check out Tampa Bay's premier private jet source. I'm Brandon Rimes for Will Smith Aviation. Aircraft management, acquisition, and sales, luxury jet escapes, and packages. Check them out online. WillSmithAviation.com. That's WillSmithAviation.com. Or call the show. I'll put you right in touch directly with Captain Will Smith. AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com for all of your non-woke American-made products. American values, Christian, conservative American values. Say hello to my business partner, Jim McCune at AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com. David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.com. Say hello to Shane Socash, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show. 4009 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg. Online at David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.com for all of your precious metals and jewelry design. David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.com. Hey, Brandon Rimes here for Jason Coble, owner of Coble Law. Coble Law has been handling injury cases in Tampa for the past 14 years and has a specialized approach focused on limiting client cost and maximizing client profit. TampaWorkCompLaw.com. TampaWorkCompLaw.com. Jason Coble, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show, personal injury law, and work comp law. Hey, Brandon Rimes here for our friends at TargetSurveying.net. For all of your surveying needs, land surveying firm providing services for real estate since 1992, and they are statewide. Check them out online, TargetSurveying.net. That's TargetSurveying.net. Selling commercial, vacant land, or residential properties? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rimes. You can reach me at 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. That's consumerqb, like quarterback.com. Buying, selling, investing, or refinancing? We would love to talk to you. Thank you so much and have a blessed day.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
All right, Consumer Quarterback Show powered by the Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty, 1664 15th Avenue South in St. Petersburg. This one's in an opportunity zone. Attention investors, real estate buyers. This is close to downtown, 1740 square feet. We got a business for sale. It's a convenience store close to downtown St. Pete, 1664 15th Avenue South, St. Petersburg, Florida. Great opportunity to buy real estate. Check out our websites. You can see all of our real estate listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. And you can see our radio, TV show experts at consumerqb.com.
This is God's country.
All right, Aaron Williamson in the house. We're talking about this AI battle, the robot armies, and where this might go. He's our tech expert here. The largest humanoid robot data factory is currently operating up in Massachusetts. It's inside the largest humanoid robot data factory in the United States. This is scary. This is something that you mentioned in George Orwell's book. I mean, right? I mean, they fund it. Maybe they take the tax dollars, funnel it into this type of thing, and they got their own army right
Depends
here.
on what they do with it, right?
Yeah.
Technology can be used for good. It can be used for bad. I guess it's good that one of them is in the U.S. We probably need this capability.
Yeah.
It's a scary world, especially in what we just talked about. Anthropic saying, slow down, we're not ready. And all of a sudden now this company is going to pump out physical AI-powered beings that Anthropic's worried we can't control.
Yeah.
There's reason to take legit pause and think about it, about what we're going to do, without being a doomsday kind of guy. I don't think this is the doomsday. We're not there yet. We've talked about quantum computing. I think that's our real doomsday scenario, but we're still a few years out from that. And last thing I'll mention about that is there's a scientist from Meta who spoke out and thinks that AI right now is only at a cat level technology, cat IQ.
Wow.
Yeah, not cat, not even dog. No, cats are smarter than dogs.
Dolphins up there.
Yeah. But that we're not there yet. So that we are still probably a couple years away from any self-recursive improvement.
Yeah. Big news, too, in the state, since we spoke last, the state property taxes moving to the ballot. That's going to be a big deal for a lot of people, save a lot of, especially seniors, first-time buyers, people that are, on a budget.
Let's hope so. I mean, the government should never have a surplus.
Yeah.
They should not be operating on surplus. They shouldn't be using as much money as they do. Don't mishear me. But they should never take more than they're going to use.
Right. Yeah,
so,
exactly.
yes.
Yeah, and the budgets, that's what happens with a lot of these budgets, right? Is they don't hit the numbers from last year, they're going to lose money, so they got to spend at the end of November, December, or whenever their fiscal year ends.
That is how the military works right there.
Aaron Williamson, longtime friend of the show. He's our tech expert, Cornerstone Project Management. He's online at cornerstonepmp.com. Call the hotline. We'd love to put you in touch. 813-917-1894. Call the show hotline. Reach out, buying, selling, investing. 813-917-1894. Aaron, thanks for coming in. Final thought.
Oh, no, thanks for having me, Brandon. AI is tricky. It's changing every day. Read the news. Listen to the show, but call cornerstonepmp.com.
There we go. All right, good stuff. We had Jennie Restrepo on the front end, Aaron Williamson as well. Another great show. Thanks for tuning in and supporting the show. And please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community. And thanks so much for your support. ConsumerQB.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Call Brandon Rimes at 813-917-1894. That's 813-917-1894. Online at ConsumerQB.com. And join us next time for The Consumer Quarterback Show.